Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Thornton Raceway as we get ready here for race number 23, chase race number 8 of Season 8 of the Mobil1 Cup Series. This is a track that really has been a key factor into determining who the champion is in the past couple of seasons. And I'm being joined here in the booth by Michael Norman. And Michael, this is the home of the Turn of Death. What are we going to see today?
Destruction. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully some good, exciting racing and like fingers crossed that somebody falls off the edge and doesn't die.
And the interesting thing is, we've had actually in the Last of Us Light Series race and the Truck Series race, it was comparatively a much calmer Thornton races than we've seen. However, there have been victims that have fallen off the Turn of Death. I believe the tally so far is up to 6 drivers in 2 races that have fallen off the Turn of Death. We'll see if any more are going to be added to today's tally. But an interesting thing here too, one thing that we talk about here at Thornton is track position. There's no chasers starting up inside the top 5. You got Joe Davis on the pole, Justin Talampa second, Jordan Davis third, Cassandra Renzi fourth, and Kyle Matthews fifth. Is this going to be really crucial in the fact that none of the chasers are starting up here at the front, and they're basically going to be in the danger zone, which could be anywhere in this field?
Well, at the rate of the tight turns that this track has, you'll never know what's going to happen if people overdrive a corner, hit the wall, or get sent out all over the track somewhere. But it's going to be a pretty interesting race, I think. And with the way these guys probably are calmer and know that 6 people have fallen off the Turn of Death, I think they'll try to be just that little bit calmer going into that final corner.
And it was also proven in the Truck Series race that you can actually move your way up through the field even though you start way at the back. We saw Eric and Rage still hold the points lead in the Truck Series. He started 41st, and at the end of 3 laps he was up to 26th. So we may see somebody be able to survive and work their way up here to the front, but we're about to get ready to put these cars under the green flag. It'll be 4 laps of racing, as usual, no cautions, as the pace car speeds off super fast.
He hit that turbo boost.
Yeah, he did. So Joe Davis, who hasn't been to victory lane since Daytona of Season 6, going to try and pick up his 2nd career Mobil1 Cup Series victory. We're about ready here to go at Thornton. I'll turn it over to Michael.
1 point separates the point leaders right now. And we're going green here at Thornton. What's going to happen?
Now this first turn down here, they actually seem to be able to make it through pretty well. We haven't had any incident here yet this weekend.
Yeah, this is pretty much a street track, and you know how street tracks are when it comes to different types of racing series. And for these Mobil1 Cup Series drivers, it's always a thrill to come to the track like this. And being how this is what I think the 6th time total that we've come to Thornton. That should pretty much be. These guys are still not exactly getting a handle on the track, but they're pretty good.
And I apologize there for that little lag. I'm trying to figure out why my frame rate is only 2 frames per second.
I got something to do with Skype or something.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyways, Jordan Davis going to try and go to the inside as, whoa, Kyle Matthews almost went off track, but Matthews, even though he was almost up in the grass, he's going to go to the front.
Now with the points only separated by 1, this is going to make for a more interesting race between James McLeod and LJ Mills.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, too, we can't really base anything off their past performance in the Truck Series race because neither one of them finished too particularly well in that event. So, we're going to have to see how they do here today. And an interesting thing is, too, right now I believe the highest running chaser is Dylan Poteet, who's actually been up in the thick of it for the points lead the past couple of weeks. Right now he's running in the 3rd position right behind Stephen Pollard III. He could get back in the hunt here with where he's running.
Yes, he can. Now, I just took it a question. Imagine if you were in one of those cars on the other side of this little highway. What the heck would you be thinking right now, seeing that?
You'd probably be thinking, what is the speed limit really on this freeway?
Yeah. But I'm looking here, and Dylan Poteet, he's 23 points out of the point lead behind James McLeod. He has 2 wins this season. These guys are getting very close.
Yeah, they are. They're almost 3 wide.
He's only 23 points out, which means he has to finish good ahead of LJ Mills and James McLeod by at least, about, let's see, my math isn't as good as yours.
Oh, we got a wreck. Charles Jackson's around.
Oh, I just see it. I see it back there. Oh, that's right in the middle of the pack.
Yes, it is too. Oh man, more cars involved. Silver Fox, Lawler, Andy Timmons.
Looks like to me maybe a full-court wreck. I'm not sure how many other cars had damage.
I think there were some more involved in this. I don't know who, but I don't see how they couldn't have had more drivers involved. There's Anthony McCrory.
I saw some front-end damage, on James Silverfox there.
Yep, and there's LJ Mills, second in the points. I think he got through that. He actually started this race off from dead last.
Yeah, but because of where the wreck was, it looks like now it's been stupid bridges been greatly separated from the rest of the field.
And just up ahead is who I kind of consider the X factor in this whole chase. There is Zach Hamlin. I mean, he came in, I think he got the second wild card spot, or else he just barely made it into the top 10. It was one or the other. And actually, I think he actually got in just barely in the top 10 because of Dylan Theroux being replaced. But, you know, Zach Hamlin, right now, he's still surviving, and he's been one of those kind of drivers that we see during the chase season where not much TV time goes on that driver, but he's up there battling for the championship.
Yeah, I see that he's 22 points. He's 22 points out of the lead, and unfortunately, though, he's back in 39th place. It's just not where he wants to be at this point. But you never know what's going to happen in these final few races.
And it's taking me forever to get up here to the front because they're coming to the turn of death here. See if I can get to it here before they go by. Galligan's off!
Oh, I just saw that.
Nick Alton close. Chris Washer close. And it looks like everybody else is going to get through it okay. Whoa, 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 Nick Smith.
Looks like we can add 7 cars to that list of cars that have fallen off the turn of death.
And this time it's former Mobil1 Cup Series champion Sean Galligan, who has already teleported to pit road. James Silverfox on pit road. Jessica Shelton's on pit road.
Oh, I wonder if she was involved in that wreck.
I don't know if she was involved in the wreck with Charles Jackson or maybe something else. I don't know for certain. I don't remember seeing her involved. There's McCrory coming to pit road. Charles Jackson coming to pit road. We know they were involved in that incident on that freeway exit. And right now we got teammates running 1, 2, 3. Tim Walsh the leader, Dylan Poteet second, and Justin Talampas right now in third.
It's always good to have your teammates behind you, even though they're not going to cut you a break.
And here's a little bit of possible redemption. Trent Dunham just barely lost out on the Truck Series win yesterday to Daniel Voiles. He's up here in the 4th position, maybe trying to get some Thornton redemption.
Yeah, that was, just like I said, just barely edged him out. And Trent, I'm not sure how good of a road racer he is, but he's certainly showing what he can do here.
Well, we've showed basically everybody inside the top 5 with the exception of 2 drivers. One of them is Ricky Falcon, who I know is now running up inside of the top 10 because I just saw him back there. There he is, battling for, I think that's 7th place with Cassandra Renzi. He's another driver who could possibly work his way back up into contention for the championship, but we got to find out where the points leader James McLeod is. We haven't seen him get involved in any incident or anything, but where is he running? Right now he's in the 22nd position, so not exactly a bad spot to be running, but with the fact that Poteet and Ricky Falcon are running so much better, he's got to get up there to try and continue to hold his points lead next week.
Yeah, Poteet running second, that would put him about 2 points right now out of the lead from where James is running right now. So it all depends on where he's going to cycle around in this next lap.
Yeah, and the last thing McLeod wants to do is be heading into the season finale with a very small points lead, because you remember back to that one season where it was him and Austin LaPlante. They tied in the season finale and had to have a shootout, and McLeod lost the championship. in a 5-lap shootout at Zenjolta. So you can bet he does not want to have that tiny little points lead heading into the season finale.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you always feel safer when you go into the final race with a big point gap. I mean, and it's the same way for people in the Truck Series and the Snickers Cup Series as well. But the smaller the point margin is, the more pressure that's added onto your shoulders.
Yeah, and of course that's going to be huge this season for Snickers Cup, with the fact that the final 4 heading into Armory, they're all going to be dead tied for the points lead. Whoever finishes best out of those 4 will win the championship, so there's going to be a lot of pressure added there in that race.
If I had to ask you to make an early prediction of who you think would win the championship based off this race, who would you have to say?
Based off of this race here?
Yes.
Oh man. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna be, obviously I have not run the Armory race. I have no idea who's gonna win the championship. I'm gonna actually say McLeod because, for me, based on what's been going on here since the chase began, McLeod got in one of the wild card spots. He ended up having 2 wins this season. This has been one of the more dominating Mobil1 Cup Series seasons he has had, and I honestly think that there's got to be redemption on his mind from that time that he lost the championship in that 5-lap shootout. I think that he sees this as his opportunity. This is the only series that he's in contention for a championship in this season. I think right now they're going to have a real tough time wrestling that points lead away from McLeod.
Yeah, as we're coming to the turn of death here, let's see who else could fall off.
If they remain single file, we should be good. Double file is okay as long as they don't drive over and Levi McIntyre.
Yep, just as you said that. I just saw him. He slid it off the corner and it just went too far and right off.
And that is the second chaser that we have seen get involved in something today. Jackson was the first, and now, well, actually Shelton as well. So that's 3 chasers that have been involved in something here at Thornton.
That makes the list up to 8.
That's right, it does.
One more, and we can have an average fall-off list of 3 cars per series.
Pretty much, and we are with 2 to go, so there's still 2 more chances that somebody is going to possibly fall off the turn to death. Justin Talampas leading. One thing I want to just throw out there, even though this race isn't going to be uploaded on the actual day that we're recording here, want to give a happy birthday shout out to Ralph Mason. We know this is going to be the last season that he'll be running in the Snickers Cup Series, and so we want to wish him a happy birthday. As we're looking right now at his younger brother Wolfgang running in 27th.
Happy birthday, Ralph.
Ralph Mason, if you guys don't remember, actually joined Michael and me for a Thornton race here at one point, and there was a lot of fry references.
Speaking of that, go give me some fries.
I'm a little busy right now working with a race that's running at 2 frames per second.
Don't worry, I'll cover you.
Oh, I feel like we're watching one of those old motion pictures where it just goes frame by frame.
Yeah, right.
I apologize to the people that are watching this and are going, oh my goodness, I watched races in 60 frames per second and you're putting me through this, but there's not really much we can do about it. You're getting a race, deal with it.
Exactly. Don't have to be picky.
LJ Mills has worked his way up now to the 28th position. We know McLeod was just outside of the top 20, so...
Where did he cycle around to this lap?
Let's find out. McLeod cycled around in 19th, so he picked up about 3 spots on that last lap.
Yes, he has. It's good. McLeod can just pick them off one at a time and just try not to have to worry about it. He's already got a... okay, based on the points now, McLeod being 19th and LJ Mills being 28th, that's a 9-point gap. So that's 10 points right now that he has over LJ Mills. But then we got to account for Dylan Poteet being probably... Dylan Poteet probably is like at least either 3rd or 4th in the points, not too far behind these guys.
Yeah, because we know Zach Hamlin's running a little ways back there, so Poteet will probably have passed him in the standings since they were only separated by a point.
You know, I just thought of something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Poteet might have actually, with where he's running compared to where LJ Mills and James McLeod are, he may be 2nd in points after this race.
It's possible. The only thing we got to take into account here, too, is that LJ Mills is running all by himself. there's still a lot of other drivers bunched up, so there's still the possibility that, with LJ Mills running all by himself, he could be in a rather safe area. If more cars wreck ahead of him, that's going to be more spots that he'd gain again. So for Dylan Poteet, he's got to hope that there's not going to be much more wrecking between himself and that 54.
Poteet going for the lead right here.
Yes, he is. Dylan Poteet going to try and go for the top position. 2 wins this season in Mobil1 Cup Series. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think, yeah, he actually won the last time we were here at Thornton. He won the Mobil1 Cup Series race, so he's actually trying to go for a season sweep.
He just lost a lot of ground there.
That's one thing about that portion of the racetrack, too, I don't really understand, but it's very consistent, though, is that off that corner, the high side, and the middle groove especially, seems to be the one that gets the run.
Justin Talampas keeps the lead there. He's got Tim Walsh right behind him. Poteet falling back to 4th, losing the 3rd spot to Trent Dunham.
Yeah, Trent's the meat in a Turner sandwich right now. There's 3 Turner cars and then Trent.
Tim Walsh is powered by for the lead.
Yes, he did, and Tim Walsh, one of the few Turner cars that hasn't been in victory lane yet this season, as they come to the turn of death for the, as Sean Galligan would call it, the penultimate time, Cassandra Renzi!
Wow.
Oh man, she saved it, but now there's a dust cloud. We're not going to be able to see if anybody falls off.
We'll see at the very end.
Oh, Pichu London took that turn wide, but he's okay. There's LJ Mills. And I didn't see Zach Hamlin go by yet in the 43. Maybe he didn't, I just didn't spot him.
He might have.
So it looks like... Yeah, there's Sean Henley. Yeah, Henley's way back there. Nick Smith way back here. There's Lawler. We know he got involved in that Charles Jackson spin. Bob Jones the same. There's Jackson. Still on the lead lap, but many, many, many seconds, maybe even a minute behind. There's McCrory as well. Jake Rogers. I don't know what happened to the 19, but he's all the way back here, 38th place.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. His car does look clean. Maybe he overtook a corner and got stuck on the outside portion of the racetrack.
That's possible. I mean, we've seen that happen all weekend long. A lot of times there are steel guardrails that separate the racetrack from that outside grass area, and drivers have a difficult time trying to find their way back in. We are on the final lap here with 4 drivers broken away. Tim Walsh, Justin Talampas, Trent Dunham, and Dylan Poteet. So now I'll pose the question to you. Tim Walsh, Trent Dunham, Talampas. They have not gone to victory lane yet this season. Poteet has 2 wins, but he's battling for a championship. So who out of these 4 do you think wants it more?
Trent Dunham, I would think, he wants redemption from yesterday's truck race, so he's determined to try to get around those guys, but it's often really hard to pass it in some of these corners, so he's just got to find out that if these guys are going to wreck or something, if he can just take advantage of that.
Now, if you're Tim Walsh and if you're Justin Talampas, say Dylan Poteet gets by the both of you, and he's battling with Trent Dunham for the win. Do you help Poteet, or do you go for it yourself?
I would definitely go for it myself. I would try to make a hole or an opening and then go for it. But you just gotta make sure you just gotta not to wreck anybody, because you don't want any altercations. Look here's Trent Dunham.
Yeah,
and Dylan Poteet.
Yeah, Poteet gonna try and get to the inside of him. Dunham stuck to the back bumper of Talampas all the way down that one freeway straightaway, and now looks like he's gonna work with the 38 again, possibly. No, I think he stepped out of line.
These gosh darn camera angles.
Yeah, some camera angles just don't work in some areas of this track.
He is right on his back bumper. He's got a few more corners to make a move. I mean, look at him. He's pushing him down this long straightaway here.
And the good news for him is that Poteet and Tim Walsh were actually side by side. Took him a little time to now get themselves into a tandem, so that helps Trent Dunham and Talampas open up a tiny bit of a gap between themselves and that 3rd and 4th place drivers.
They're going to try to settle it
here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, man. 32 got a huge run.
Yeah, I can see that. He tried to pull out, but didn't have enough momentum.
And here he comes to the inside. Oh, man. Remember the Tim Walsh-Trent Dunham battles that we used to have, the rivalry that went on between those two?
Yes, this is so close, but this is good for that 38. The 8 car had the high line there, so he'll be able to get the run as as Tim Walsh will probably fall back from the inside.
Yep, Tim
Can't
Walsh
count out
is
Poteet.
yep, he's losing a spot to Poteet here in third. Poteet going to try and see if he can get the right entry into this left-hander coming up to try and get second from Trent Dunham. If he can get to Trent's inside, that may be all she wrote. It may be Talumpus' race to win.
Yes, it would. Yes, it possibly would be. We'll have to see.
As they come into the final few corners, we've seen moves made in the final turn in the last two races. Matt Corcoran beat out Johnny Gardner in the final corner. Daniel Voiles beat out Trent Dunham in the final corner. Can Trent make a move here?
Doesn't look like it.
No, he's backed off a bit here. Wait a minute, though. Dylan Poteet. Oh, man.
Oh, Poteet's looking for second.
Oh, here
He's
comes
got second
Poteet.
coming.
Holy cow, how did he get that run?
Is he gonna have enough to do it though?
Oh, man!
Oh no, I think Talumpus.
Oh,
got
Talumpus got him by a splitter, and Trent got ran over by a train.
the way our voice just changed. Like, oh.
You should just insert the Trent Dunham scream right there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Talumpus, wait, then Trent got run over by a train.
No! Oh my goodness, Justin Talumpus hanging on. I don't know how Poteet even made that move. He went around the outside of Trent Dunham in the final corner and then did a slingshot move on his teammate. But Talumpus is going to deny Poteet his third win of the season, and he'll take his first win of his career here at Thornton. And that was probably one of the closest Thornton finishes we have had. Let's find out where the Chasers officially finished here, especially the top 5 in the point standings, because we know that Levi McIntyre fell off the turn of death. Charles Jackson encountered problems that may cycle it to only 5 drivers still in contention for this championship. So we'll find out first where James McLeod finished out this race. He was 14th, so not a bad run for him.
No, not at all.
So McLeod in 14th. LJ Mills will finish out in 27th. So that's going to be about 12 to 13 points he'll lose on McLeod today. Zach Hamlin was 21st, but he'll lose third in points to Poteet with his runner-up finish. And Ricky Falcon, 5th in points. Where did he finish? Oh, he finished 34th, so he may actually be out of the hunt as well. It may be down to 4 drivers heading into the last 2 races at Talladega and Armory.
Yes, I believe so, because if we do the points, if we do the math, did James McLeod finish where, 15th?
17th, I believe.
Right.
No, 14th.
Okay, 14th, so that's what, a difference of 13 points?
Yep.
Alright, so that would move Dylan Poteet might be at least 10 points, I'm assuming, somewhere roughly around there, behind James McLeod heading into Talladega.
And the interesting thing, too, is McLeod has a win at a restrictor plate track this season. That came at the season opener at Daytona. So advantage may go to McLeod, but we'll find out in the next few weeks. We're going to be right back. We're going to come back with a still shot of just how close that finish was, and then we'll finish out today's race here at Thornton. So here is a look at how close that finish was. I'm pretty certain that's the closest finish that we've ever had here in NNSCRA history at Thornton.
Even the flag guy looks astonished.
I know, he's like, should I wave the flag or just watch this and see if I can distinguish who wins?
He's probably one hand waving the flag, the other hand has a camera.
You can't really get a good angle here. That one's not exactly too good either. I guess the helicopter view would really show the difference. This one does show it. You can see Talumpus is definitely ahead, but that just shows you how close it is right there.
Imagine if the start-finish line was a little further past pit road.
And just to put in perspective, the kind of run Poteet got, look how far back Trent Dunham is. He was on Talumpus's back bumper in that final corner. Poteet just rocketed around the high side and got the side draft when he went to the inside of Talumpus. So he made up, I don't know how much ground in just a short amount of time.
Poteet might need a pair of Huggies because he powered it around the corner and just prayed that it wouldn't fall off the edge.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. That's quite a risky move because we've seen you try mashing the throttle, full throttle across that turn. on the outside line, you're almost guaranteed to fall off the turn of death. So he really took a risk there. That could have possibly taken him out of championship competition, but it ended up paying off for him.
Yeah, got him a good second place finish, almost a win.
But he ends up getting beat out by his teammate in the 38. But man, Talampas, you can't blame him. I mean, he raced Poteet clean down to the stripe, and he got him at the line.
Yes, he did. And if our math is correct, should be about an 11-point gap going into Talladega between James McLeod and Dylan Poteet.
And it'll be interesting to see where LJ Mills also fits into that equation, as well as Zach Hamlin and Ricky Falcon. But it could very well come down between 3 drivers in the next 2 races. We'll be finding all that out, though, in the next coming weeks. But, Michael, I want to thank you for this very exciting, even though it was very laggy, but very exciting race here at Thornton.
And no problem. I always love co-commentating in Thornton because I have my impressive oh my gosh face that if I had a face cam I would have seen numerous times today.
Well, the turn of death has claimed more victims, and you're going to be taking on that turn of death tomorrow as you're one of the Elite 8 in the hunt still for the Snickers Cup Series Championship.
Yes, I am. I'm just coming out here for a good finish. I mean, I'm what is it, like at least somewhere a little above 10 points ahead of third place, I think, third place in the points. So I'm just looking out for just a good finish. I can possibly try to pull a Ryan Newman.
Alright, so hope that you guys enjoyed today's race here at Thornton. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finisher results, as well as your rookie standings, overall standings, and your chase points heading into next week at Talladega. We got Snickers Cup Series race coming to you next time here at Thornton to finish out what's been a great road course racing weekend. And also be sure to subscribe to Michael Norman's channel. The link to his channel is in the description. I'll let Michael finish this out here with whatever he wants to say.
NNSCRA Hall of Famer, driver of the number 3. Thanks to Seth Cole for giving me that opportunity. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who voted for me, and I appreciate it. And Seth Cole, this is amazing, and I will see you actually here in probably just a few minutes to help me with something out.
Yes,
so this is Thornton. This is Turn of Death. Actually, this is the country of the Turn of Death. In fact, there's a restaurant right up the street that has a challenge called the Turn of Death. So we should probably go check that out.
Yeah, let's go. I'm hungry.
All right.
Okay, so we'll see you guys next time. As you've been watching production of NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. What's the special today?
I don't know. I think it's something to do with like Danny Fox late model Sears fries.
Woo!
Some chili.
Yum.
Something like that.
Oh, we're still in the air. Shoot!
Oh crap.
Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!